Hi there, my name is Blacklock. I'm a Master P.G.A professional and I'm based an hour north of London in England. And in my sort of favourite stamping ground, I'm in the Orca studio. Orca is, for my money, the best custom fit company on the market. The components of their clubs are incredibly good, and with the combination of the GC2 quad doing all the launch data, if you come for a set of Orca clubs, you're going to go home with the highest performance I think you can get in the industry. Now, people say to me, Luther, how do you overcome first tee nerves? Well, the first thing to do is accept that everybody gets nervous, all right? We're all afraid of hitting a mediocre shot in front of however many people. The thing is, if you're just an amateur golfer and you hit a really bad shot at the first tee, you get a bit of banter from your mates. You try being the head professional and topping off the first tee. You leave the tee to the sound of your own footsteps. So one of the things I've taught myself is on the first tee, I'm going to commit. I'm not going to hit a nervous shot or a shot that avoids trouble. I'm going to give it my best shot. And generally, if it goes a bit left or right, people don't comment, as long as the strike is good. So, just a few first tee tips. Warm up before you get to the first tee. Make sure you've hit balls for at least half an hour and stretch. Also, particularly the driver, get some good shoulder coils in, stretching backwards and forwards. Okay, get yourself limbered up. Then lean forward and do it, you see. Get the club over the right shoe. Get the club over the left shoe. Okay, that'll help. Also, have a little practice swish with your hands. Make sure your hands aren't stiff, or your wrists and your forearms. So tension's the killer. If your wrists go stiff and your forearms go tight, you're just going to slow the club head down. What we want is prepared muscles, but not gritty, tense muscles. So this is the simulation of the first tee at Wentworth. The marker post in the middle of the fairway. And I like to hit a draw. So what I do is I aim at the marker post, at which point I've got half a fairway to hit. I now go around the circle an inch. I'm now aiming already at the right edge of the fairway or the right semi. So off I go. I can't pull it. I just load and hit you a draw. So there we go. Didn't get quite the amount of draw that I wanted. So it's gone for me 230. If I turn it over a bit more, 245 would be my limit. Okay? But there is a beautiful thing about a driver, is if you grip it well, you can't hook it. And if the shaft of the address is correct, you can't pull it or block it. So have a look at this. Imagine that aluminium strip is the ball target line. The shaft's a dead right angle. The ball's left heel. Right. Now, if I go from there, I'm actually aiming at the middle of the fairway. What does that mean? I've only got half a fairway to hit. So it's very subtle, but just go around the circle an inch to my left. It's so subtle your mates don't know you've done it. But another thing has happened. Your whole body's aligned at the right edge of the fairway, the right semi. So is the face. It's pointing right semi. But the beauty is the butt of the club is over the ball. So when you load and release, you come back to that line. You're not going to find yourself flipping and turn the ball over. All right? So just look at that again. The shaft's a right angle, ball left heel. I go round the circle an inch. So now I can release the forearms and hands and go for draw spin with the path of the swing, but it can't start left. And that's confidence building, all right? So, aim at the marker post, go around the circle just the inch, load the shoulder and release the draw. So that's a better one for me. I've got the draw, and it should release quite quickly. And going forward. So I'm 68 years of age. It's not as long as it could be. If I got in the gym, got rid of the spare tyre, I might find 20 yards. Have I got the discipline to do that? Don't be silly. All right, so we're happy about draw spin. So I'll do one more just for luck. Aim in the middle of the fairway, round the circle, load the shoulder, hit a draw. I didn't get all of that, but it's okay. If you'd asked me 14 years ago, before I had this technology, say, Luther, what happens to pupil dispersion the further they hit it? In a heartbeat, I'd have said it spreads. But 15 years on, I now know from ball dispersion grouping, recorded by the GC quad, your longest shots are tighter than your weaker shots. If you hit 90 shots and you cherry pick the 30 strongest and you cherry pick the 30 weakest, the grouping of the strongest will be 40 to 50% tighter. So it's a remarkable thing that the harder you hit it, the better the quality, the more accurate you're going to become. This idea on Sky TV that, oh, you've got to swing within himself or slow, no, you do that, you just go less distance in the trees. The fact of the matter is, the most powerful shot you can create will also agree with the most accurate. Okay, let me say that again. Your most powerful shot will also be your most accurate. All right. So I said one more just for luck, so I lied. Round the circle, load fully, release the draw. Bit hands and armsy, so I flipped it a little bit, but no great harm. So let's deal with the fade. So, driver likes to fade the ball. Let's tee the ball down a little bit. Okay. So I've teed the ball down. I go around the circle to my right, so I'm now aiming left edge of the fairway. Here we go. Load and fade. So the ball starts down the left and is turning nice and softly into target line. Not bad for a fade for me, 230 with a fade. Now the ball flight laws are slightly inconsistent. What applies to a draw and a fade, it's not a mirror image. With the driver, I'm into out. When I go around the circle, I'm more into out. So the ball is definitely going to start right. So the key with the driver hit and draw is make sure you draw it. There's a different exercise when you're hitting fade. Let me show you why. On this side of the ball, innately draws spin. Round the circle, now I've got a swing path out to in. So when you're hitting a draw, the emphasis is in the shape of the shot. When you're hitting a fade, it's where the shot starts, okay? So square stance, round the circle, and the trick is to start the ball down the left. That's the path of the swing, out to in. Okay, so that was a better strike for me. Didn't get the run of the previous shot because I'm going to hit the semi-rough, so it didn't really go anywhere, but at least I've demonstrated you what send and bend does. So you got it? If you're fading the ball, make sure you send it, 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and if you're drawing the ball, make sure you shape it.